he did that.
Were there any concerns about his public performance in a setting like that?
Well, I mean, I think the issue that I have with that question, Peter, is that he literally did a press conference with all of you days ago with some of your colleagues,
Right,
and took multiple.
That's different, you know, than an hour-long press conference. That's why I asked the question.
I mean, look, but he took questions. He took questions on an array of issues, went back and forth, and he took questions today. He's been pretty consistent over the past couple of days in doing that. And that shows his performance, that those are questions that he doesn't know what you guys are going to ask, and he takes them and he answers them, and I think that is something that is important to him. This goes back to the freedom of the press, understanding how important you all are to our democracy, and understanding how having that continuation of a back and forth, even when we don't agree, is important. And so I'm pretty sure you all will continue to hear from him in the last couple of days of his administration, and he certainly looks forward to it.
Corinne, we're sort of dancing around who gets to take credit for this deal.
No one's dancing around here.
Our colleague at the State Department briefed our colleagues that President Trump was critical in getting this deal over the line. Do you not agree with that statement?
I mean, look, I'm not going to speak to a random person.
Your colleague.
I don't know who this person is. I'm not going to. Oh. What I can say is, look, obviously Matt Miller will speak for himself. What I can say is there are steps that were taken here that is really important and critical, and that started with this president starting a framework that was agreed upon by the world back in May. And that was because of this president. That was because he was able to lay out his thoughts, his thinking on how to move forward with this negotiation. What I said before, this is someone who understands foreign policy as I'm talking about the president. He understands how difficult it is, and this was not an easy one. And so he has the experience. He was able to get that going, to get that started. So this has been going on for some time. It has. I mean, that's just the reality of it. That is just the facts of it. Have we been coordinating and working closely with the incoming Trump administration, their transition team? Yes. And we've been very forthcoming about that. But the fact of the matter is, it took someone who has the experience that this president had to get this going, to get this moving, to understand what negotiations look like, and that's what this president did.
All right, hooligans. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, but things seem to be stable now. So we're going to let this ride, and even if there's some hiccups, I'm going to let it ride, but if it turns to dog shit, we'll reset it again. But I think we're okay for now that I've blown my voice out.
So look, I just mentioned that Brett McGurk is going to be holding, a National Security Council is holding up a call. I think that's going to be really important. They will talk more about the implementation of this. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan was just here 2 days ago on Monday, and I think kind of laid out a really good framework for all of this, the thinking process, how this was going to move forward. And Brett McGurk, he is on the ground. He has all of the information. He has been there at the direction of this president, certainly with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan leading that effort. And so he's going to have a lot more information than any of us here will have, because he's been on the ground, understanding, working with the negotiators and understanding how this process has worked. So that's how this works. Go ahead.
You said that you wish your successor luck. Have you had any extensive conversations with her about how this job is done? Or?
I haven't. But you know, I'm not the only White House press secretary or soon-to-be former White House press secretary out there. So I'm sure there are many people for her to connect with and speak with. But I have not had a conversation with her. Yeah, Jackie.
Thanks, Corinne. How many Americans are going to be in the first tranche, and when will they start coming out?
It's a good question. That's why Brett McGurk is going to be holding this National Security Council call. He will have all of that information. The president even said the same thing when he was asked a similar question, that we will have more details to share. And so the National Security Council, Brett McGurk, will share that with all of you, hopefully momentarily, once this is done.
I'm confused on why we're having the last briefing of the administration on what's been one of the defining wars of this presidency without being able to answer those questions.
I just said he's going to hold a press call and he'll like take your questions on that. I think that's important to hear directly from the person who's on the ground. I think that's an important thing to do, right?
We were under the impression that there were folks here in the building who had those answers, who could tell us.
Well, National Security Council is holding up a call so that Brett McGurk can get on that call and take your questions.
Okay. Why is it that you seem unwilling to extend any credit to Trump for this deal? Couldn't he just have said, hold off until I'm in office?
What I will say is that what we know to be true, what we know this process, how it has moved over the past 8 months, this is a deal that happened under the framework that this president put forward and was endorsed by the world. And this is also an administration that has had certainly the support, the back of Israel that helped denigrate Hamas, their military severely, weaken them. And we created, because of also doing that, we created the conditions for this deal. That is what has happened over the last 8 months. And we have talked closely, worked closely, coordinated closely with the incoming administration, and that is how we've been able to get to this point. And the reason we were able to do that, having that conversation with the transition team, is because this president believed in the importance of having a peaceful transfer of power, right? Of having a transition that worked for the American people and had the American people at the forefront in trying to make sure that we got this done.
I guess we've heard variations of that answer through the briefing, but I guess more plainly, I'm wondering, if you'll just say your view, which seems to be that Trump gets no credit.
I've shared my view. I don't have anything else to share. I've shared how we got to this point. The president shared that moments ago. He laid out in very succinct way on how we got to this point.
Come on, man.
I talked about Brett McGurk, who's on the ground talking to negotiators, has been there working at the direction of this president, the leadership, obviously, of the National Security Advisor. This has been something that has been in the works for months, way before November. That is just how this has worked. I'm not here to talk about the transition. I'm not here to talk about who gets credit, not get credit. I'm here to talk about what this president has been able to do. And here's what is also incredibly important here. We're going to get hostages who are going to go home to their family. After 15 months of, I don't even want to think the horror that they have gone through. I can't even imagine it. And I think that matters. I mean, we're going back and forth about credit, but people are going to go home to their families. And that is so important. And hopefully the phases will continue and we'll get to an end of war here. And that is important. And let's not forget, increase that humanitarian aid into Gaza, because there are people there who need that aid and the assistance. I'm going to move on. Go ahead. No, I'm going to wait. No,
How will you grade yourself on your goal of being the most transparent administration?
Go ahead. I've taken like 3 questions. I'm going to move on. Go ahead.
No answer there?
Oh, go ahead. I've already taken 3 of your questions. I'm going to make sure some of your colleagues get an opportunity as well.
Could you respond to the report released by the special counsel who prosecuted Hunter Biden? Specifically, he talked about Biden's claims that his son was unfairly targeted and said the president's characterizations are incorrect based on the facts in this case, and on a more fundamental level, they are wrong. He also said that politicians who attack the decisions of career prosecutors as politically motivated when they disagree with the outcome of a case undermine the public's confidence in our criminal justice system.
So, I mean, a couple things there. Let's not forget why the president came to his conclusion, how he got to this point of pardoning his son. And he talked about the circumstances of this prosecution and how out of norm they were. And let's not forget there were legal experts that agreed with this president. who shared that conclusion of this president. And one of those experts is a former prosecutor, as you all know, Attorney General Eric.
Lying makes you weak.
And he was very clear. I just want to quote him. No U.S. attorney would have charged this case given the underlying facts. Had his name been Joe Smith, the resolution would have been fundamentally and more fairly a declination. Pardon warranted. And if you look at what happened here, and you look at paying your taxes, the vast majority of people who don't pay their taxes on time are not charged with criminal penalties. They're just not. They pay their penalties and fees, and that's what Hunter Biden did. And so the president wasn't alone in this, in making that. When he made that determination, he had legal experts who also agreed with how he, making this decision on pardoning his son, Hunter Biden.
No concern that he undermines the public perception of the justice system.
I just answered that question. I don't have anything else for you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, great. Thanks. I know that you said you don't have details on what the president will be doing on Sunday, but can you expound on why he chose to spend, his last day in office in South Carolina?
We'll have more to share. I don't want to get ahead of that. We'll have more to share. And why South Carolina?
Last thing.
Yeah.
Has the president spoke with Prime Minister Netanyahu, or does he plan to do so in the coming days?
Well, as you know, he recently just spoke to the Prime Minister, and if we have more calls to read out, we certainly will do that. I know I have to start wrapping up. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Karine. On Monday, President Biden said he was more optimistic than ever about the future. Isn't he afraid or concerned that part of his legacy could be or is about to be erased by the incoming president?
I mean, look, when I answered this question about, I think it was a polling question from Kayla, I also talked about, in my answering that question, how popular some of the things that the president has done. CHIPS and Science Act, bipartisan infrastructure legislation, the PACT Act, and even the provisions of the Inflation Reduction Act. And I talked about the insulin being the insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Those are things, all of those things that I just laid out are popular with the American people. And that is something that the incoming administration has to think about, Republicans on the other side of Pennsylvania has to think about. These are things that are incredibly popular. Some of them, bipartisan infrastructure legislation, CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, were done in a bipartisan way. And so to undo those successes, some of the things, that, again, popular with the American people, that's something that they have to seriously think about. What we have done in those historic pieces of legislation that obviously is now law will have lasting effects on people's lives, lasting effect. So he's very confident about that.
One about foreign policy, because President Biden said his presidency restored the U.S. credibility in the world. Jen Psaki actually said that in her first briefing here, that he was going to do this. But when we talk to foreign leaders or diplomats around, many say that the inconsistency of the U.S. foreign policy is making it harder to work together and really trust that U.S. can be a reliable ally.
Wait, say that
so
last
what do
part
you
again.
tell
The
them?
inconsistency, you said?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of the U.S. foreign policy. Make it hard to work and trust that U.S. can be a reliable ally. So what message do you...
why are they saying that? What's the inconsistency?
Well, one administration come and do a lot of Cuba and Paris and all, and then you put it back, and now again it's about to be,
I mean, look, I'm not going to get into what the next administration is going to do, not going to do. What I can talk about is what the president wanted to make sure and that he got done in his 4 years here, which is restore the reputation of the United States, which he was able to do. Get things done on behalf of the American people and make sure that we really mended our relationships with our partners and allies. And that's what you were able to do. You don't expand NATO if it wasn't for this president and his relationships and his experience, right? You don't support Ukraine the way that it was supported by more than 50 countries, the way that it was able to get what it needed to really be on the ground. Remember, Kyiv was supposed to fall within days. that didn't happen. That didn't happen because of this president's leadership. I'm not going to get into what the next president's going to do or not do. And let's not forget today. Today was a big day in the foreign policy space to get this hostage deal done. Hostages are going to go home. We're going to be able to get humanitarian aid surged into Gaza, and we're hopefully going to end this war, and that is incredibly important. All right, guys, I have to go. Thank you. Yep.
Have you been in touch with Caroline yet?
I was just asked this question. I was just asked this question. I have not been in touch with her, but I certainly wish her luck. Thanks, everybody.
Why have you not been in touch with her?
Come talk to me in the back.
Thank you.
Prostitute.
All right. Well, I am not 100% sure if that was KJP's last press briefing or not, because I had to deal with these damn technical problems through damn near the entire press briefing. I missed the whole damn thing except for the last 5 minutes. So I don't even know. I think that's the last time we're going to have to deal with KJP, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, next week we got Caroline Levitt doing press briefings, and that's for sure. We're going to read through the schedule real quick, just because this whole beginning of the live was a total shit show. So we're going to go back through it. Just a reminder of what we're covering today. Also, 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, Old Man Shit Your Pants is supposed to be live. It's titled, Biden Delivers a Farewell Address to the Nation. I figure if it's going to be the last time he's live, which God only knows if that's true, maybe we should cover it. You know, it ain't going to take very long. A whole 7.5 minutes or something like that is what I'm expecting. So I think we will be covering Old Man Walter later today. Like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern time, a little less than 4 hours from now. And that's if they don't push it back. And you know how things go at the White House. So we'll keep an eye on that. But we're going to be starting off with a video titled Theatrical Performance. AOC torched for disheartening House floor tirade. AOC liked Shapeshifters in the female bathrooms. And so she let that be known because they were passing a bill to ban shapeshifters from women's sports. Now, regardless of AOC's performance there, it didn't mean nothing because the bill was passed 218 to 206. And then the second video here is titled Riley Gaines, I'm mad that women have to beg for equal rights. This is Riley Gaines speaking in front of everyone about the bill being passed and all of that. Then we got a video titled FDA bans red number 3 dye in food products. It's a little bit of like what Bobby Kennedy was talking about. We need to get rid of all these chemicals in our food. So it seems the FDA has already started making those attempts. I don't trust the FDA at all. They approve all kinds of stuff, claiming it's good for you. And then 50 years later, you find out your tampons are causing cancer and everything else. FDA's trash. They are total trash. So it'd be nice when Bobby Kennedy actually gets in there and starts making some changes. But like I said, red number 3 has now been banned. It's a step in the right direction. Then we got video titled U.S. Government Denying the Existence of Drone Sightings, says Representative Burt Chet. It's a 5-minute interview there where they're discussing how there's still symptoms that we're having drone problems, but the media and the government, they're not addressing it. Then we got video titled Reports China is Considering Selling U.S. Operations to Elon Musk. This is about TikTok and Elon inquiring about purchasing it. I don't know how many different versions of short form content Elon's trying to purchase. He already owns Vine, which is kind of dead in the water. It's not active right now. But then on X, there's kind of a short form content thing going on in the background. I was talking about this yesterday. If you watch a video on X and the video ends, it pops another video up. And the next video is random. And so you can keep scrolling through the videos and just watching random videos, just like on TikTok. But X doesn't list this as a feature, so I'm not really sure what that is. It's symptoms of something going on in the background. Either way, Elon is inquiring about purchasing TikTok, which I think it's all publicity. I don't think TikTok's even getting banned, but either way. Then we got video titled Elon Musk sued over buying Twitter shares at artificially low prices by U.S. finance regulator. Now they're claiming that Elon purchased 5% of Twitter before purchasing Twitter. He purchased 5% of stock shares and didn't tell anybody. And because he didn't tell anybody, the price didn't move. And so for a few months, he was able to continue making purchases of shares. And eventually it came out to the public. And as soon as it did, the shares skyrocketed in price because everyone saw that he was making those purchases. Now these assholes are saying that that's wrong. He should have disclosed that he made those purchases. That way he would have had to buy the next couple shares that he had purchased would have been at a higher price, because everyone would have flocked to the shares because he was buying it. Now that doesn't sound like a crime to me, but they're making claims that that's some form of fraud or something like that. I don't really know. It just sounds like they're crying really hard over Elon. Then we got video from Peter Doocy. It's titled, These were Biden's final acts as president. Just a quick video of him listing off all old man Walter's failures. We can't get him out the door fast enough. Then the last little bit of the news is titled, Lefties Losing It. Democrats banging and carrying on about Pete Hegseth. Now this video is not just about everyone crying really hard because of Pete Hegseth. It's a plethora of lefties losing their marbles in front of all of us, and I always like to play that right before we get into the fun stuff. Our first funny video of the day is titled, A Game of Cat and Mouse. And then our official funny video of the day is titled, Getting Bored in Michigan is Dangerous. All of that's coming up next. We're going to start on this first video here. Like I said, it's titled Theatrical Performance AOC Torched for Disheartening House Floor Tirade. Now, we're not going to watch the whole video, but we're going to cover enough to make your stomach turn, and then we'll get on to things. So let me get this pulled up really quick. I'm glad I didn't ruin my entire voice. Everything still looks good. Hopefully it stays that way. Fingers crossed. Either way, hit the thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's go ahead and get into this.
So today, female athletes protesting outside the NCAA convention demanding protection for women's sports, following a major win on Capitol Hill. The House passing a bill banning biological males from female school teams. If it passes in the Senate, the bill will strip funding from all schools that don't comply. Our next guest was on Capitol Hill yesterday when it passed. Host of the Gaines for Girls podcast on Outkick.com, Riley Gaines joins us now. Good morning, Riley.
Good morning. It's good to be on with you.
So AOC had this to say about the bill. Let's watch it.
Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. Trans girls are girls.
Is that what this fight is about, examining little girls? I mean, this is just off.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. If she spent 2 seconds reading the bill, she would know this has nothing to do with genital inspections. This has nothing to do with any sort of anatomical examination. This resorts to birth certificates and a routine physical, which every athlete already has to complete to be able to play their sport anyway. And so
anyways, that's AOC there making a total fool of herself, making wild claims that the right is interested in examining individuals' private parts to make sure they're in the right bathroom. AOC is a fucking dumbass. Anyways, we're going to get into this next video here because it's all the same topic. This is titled Riley Gaines, I'm mad that women have to beg for equal rights. Hit the thumbs up on Rumble and let's get into this. Afterwards, we'll hop in the chat.
Gaines. I am an ambassador for Independent Women's Voice. I am the vice chair of Athletes for America with America First Policy Institute. And I'm a former collegiate swimmer from the University of Kentucky. First, and let me echo Speaker Johnson's gratitude for the people who stand alongside me, behind me, their leadership on this issue, how they have stood firm, the flack that you all have taken. I know it's not easy, but nonetheless, it's necessary, and I would argue that it's urgent. And so I thank you all. And I'm thrilled with the passage of H.R. 28, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. But truthfully, I'm mad. I'm mad that this is something we have to do. I'm mad that we as women have to beg for equal rights. I'm mad that we have to beg for privacy in areas of undressing. And I'm mad that we have to beg for safety on the court or on the field or walking in the streets at night for that matter. Here's some of the things. Let's just go through a couple of the things we heard on the House floor today from Democrats. We heard of things like genital exams. We heard that girls will be asked to show what's in their underwear. We heard that they have to show internal and external anatomy, inspections, Taliban-like enforcers, hire predators to peek at girls, on and on and on. Weird fear-mongering about predators. But that's what Democrats do best. If you don't know what they're up to, just look at what they're accusing the right of. There have only been a few girls. Another thing they said, there's only a few girls who have been injured at the hands of a boy. It's such a small percentage. I heard that this bill is a waste of time. And let me tell you the message I received when I heard that, is that I'm a waste of time. Girls around the country, just like me, are a waste of time. Your daughters are a waste of time to all House Democrats except the two who voted in favor of the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. But to Speaker Johnson's point, the American people spoke on November 5th. The common sense, everyday Americans who intuitively know that men and women are different. We reject this notion. While I certainly believe people turned out to the polls to embrace Donald Trump, to embrace his cabinet picks, to embrace the America First agenda, more so, truthfully, I believe that people turned out to the polls on November 5th to reject absurdity. And that is entirely and thoroughly what the Democratic Party has become, absurd. Whether it's feeling like you have to refer to Latino individuals as Latinx, believing that men can become women, believing that men can breastfeed, believing that tampons belong in boys' bathrooms, entirely and thoroughly absurd. I'm here today for one reason. Of course, I'm not here to speak on the policy, anything like that. I'm here to debunk every single thing you heard from the House Democrats today. I'm here to tell you that this isn't a hypothetical situation. No, it's reality. My story by now is seemingly well known, so I won't get into it. I could spend hours sharing the feelings and the emotions, the specifics behind watching a man steal a woman's national title, the feelings of humiliation and violation of having to strip down to nothing, fully unclothing yourself inches away from where a 6'4" man simultaneously fully exposed himself, stripping down to nothing, exposing his male genitalia non-consensually, might I add, which we used to properly label as some form of voyeurism or sexual harassment, indecent exposure. Now it's seemingly celebrated. Last fall, leading up to the election, the Independent Women launched the Riley Gaines Stand With Women scorecard. It was a first-of-its-kind resource that tells Americans who stands with women and who does not. The scorecard had a pivotal impact, delivering a 90% win rate for those who were Riley Gaines approved. I was honored to put my name to such a significant effort. No more hiding behind these phrases and taglines that the Democrats use, saying they're for women's rights. Go back and look at who voted in support of the Lake and Riley Act. Look at who voted in support of protecting women and girls in sports. And if they were no on one or both, then they do not get to say they support women. Men do not belong in women's sports. And with the House passage of the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act, we are one step closer as a nation to making sure that not one more male athlete is able to take a trophy, a roster spot, playing time, resources, or an opportunity to compete from a woman.
Well, that was Riley Gaines there speaking because they were passing a bill. Like I said, they passed that bill saying shapeshifters are no longer allowed in women's sports. That stuff went on for way, way too long. But at least they finally passed the bill. Now, it barely passed. It passed 218 versus 206. So, I mean, it was right there. And, of course, all the Democrats were the ones voting against it, of course. They're all about hurting women, erasing women, and hurting children and things like that. So invading those spaces are a big deal for the Democrats. They love that stuff. Well, it just got turned down. So it'll be nice to see this change come across the nation here. Next up, we got FDA bans red number 3 dye in food products, claiming that this is a cancer-causing chemical Although they haven't proved it in humans, they proved it in mice or something like that, and it was enough to get banned. So moving in the right direction here. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about AOC losing her marbles on the floor because she loves shapeshifters in her bathrooms, as well as Riley Gaines speaking about why shapeshifters shouldn't be in women's sports. Guess I'm not reading that out loud, but that's hilarious. What's up, Cassie J? Happy freedom to you. Cassie J. Bitches can't resist, get some. I know. Zero, she's on fire. Yeah. Riley Gaines, she's always getting it. Thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. I feel like shit. Not in the sick sort of sense, but in the sick and tired of being sick and tired kind of sense. That's all right. Here, Juicer, there's a dog impersonating your dog at the vet. Is it trying to steal its identity? How do you end up with the same name? Is there another Klaus Daniels out there? I bet there is. There's only one true Klaus Daniels, though. Turbo, they have to do that to play sports in school. It's called a physical. I had to have that cold ass doctor hands on my sack while I coughed. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, Turbo, I hated that. What's really weird is when I was younger is when they would cup your little basket there until you turn your head and cough. But as I got older, they stopped gripping your sack and they start just like applying 2-finger pressure in like your groin area. I'm like, wait a minute, why'd you guys want to touch my goods when I was a little kid? But now that I'm a teenager, you ain't touching the goods. Very strange. Doctors are very strange and I do not trust those people at all. What's up, Jamie? Happy freedom to you. Scrolling through here. I thought I blew my voice out. I was trying to reset the modem and I was screaming and hollering. Pissed at the internet. Hooligans Island, I don't mind that we missed KJP. She won't be missed. We caught the last end of it. I'm really sorry about that, Hooligans. It was out of my hands. It had something to do with the internet, I guess. I don't know. We run a live every day. I don't mess with the settings. And then one day things don't work right. You know, very frustrating. What's up, Hidu? Happy freedom to you. When women did not have the right to vote, they still had the right to female-only spaces for their safety. Feminism is officially destroyed womanhood. It's the Democrats that destroyed it, but yep. Yeah, it's crazy how far we've moved backwards in the wrong direction. Reading through. High Plains Drifter, happy freedom to you. AOC is just divisive. Yeah. Yep, she's always looking for that conflict. Always got something to be outraged about. That crackhead squirrel energy. We need to send her a t-shirt. What's up, Extra Bill? Happy freedom to you. Mary Todd, could somebody be trying to steal Jeff's internet? No, it was... I don't know exactly what it was. Like I was saying, I reset everything and updated everything. I don't know what it was. I think it was just technology being technology. I don't think there was anybody trying to steal my stuff. Sup, Stoner? Happy freedom. I missed the foreplay. Nah, don't you worry. We'll have more press briefings. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom to you. Mr. B. New, I got a physical when I was 40 by an old lady. I coughed and then I went oh, or ooh. Yeah, I haven't had a physical in a long time, but it'd be real hilarious if I had to get one these days. Guess blew your voice out resetting the modem. I think you're doing it wrong. Nah, as soon as I got down on the floor, I started getting pissed off. I was like, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to reset this. It works fine every day. Why are we having problems? And then I was like making myself more mad. I was like, I've been waiting all day for this damn press briefing, and now I can't cover it because the fucking internet, and just losing my marbles. What's up, neighbor guy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Stern? Happy freedom to you. Stern, I'm so glad that she took this platform to defend herself in all women's sports and otherwise a real woman. That's absolutely right, Stern. She's not shy about it, and she's gotten a lot of blowback over the last year or two since she's been speaking out against the shapeshifters and stuff, but they can't get her down. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Out of my league. Yeah, Riley Gaines, she's up there. She's up there. What's up, Dog Nuts? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Random? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Bridge? Happy freedom. Guess I read that the Obamas may be splitting. I don't know how that could be. Maybe if Barack Hussein Obama, like President Trump says, maybe if Barack walked away, you know, he looks like a regular dude. If you didn't know who he was, which obviously everybody knows who he is, but he kind of just looks like a regular dude, right? He could probably get somebody else. Michael, on the other hand, well, that person looks like Bigfoot. So I can't imagine they're walking away from the relationship. Who's going to go climb that tree? You know, I'm just saying. So either way, what's up, Trigger Crazy? Happy freedom to you. We're going to go ahead and move forward here. This next video is titled FDA Bans Red Number 3 Dye in Food Products.
Breaking news on
I don't know if they're kissing up to Bobby Kennedy before he gets confirmed or what exactly is happening. It's not like the FDA to actually do something good for us. Either way, hit the thumbs up over on Rumble and let's get into this.
Breaking news on our desk right now. The FDA is banning the use of red dye 3. This is the synthetic dye that is in countless cereals, candies, fruit cocktails, and more, to give, you know, that bright red cherry color, right? Well, at least 2 studies have shown that high levels of this particular food dye were linked to cancer in rats. However, the link between the dye and cancer has not been proven yet in humans. Food companies have until 2027 to make these changes. Red Number 3 dye has been banned in Europe for decades. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's there's red dye 40 that's in a lot of commonly used products, food products. So, I mean, it's a step, it seems, in the right direction, but we shall see.
Well, like I said, it's just one of many chemicals that need to be removed from our foods. It's unnecessary. They're just worrying about making us addicted to our own poisonous food. Most of what we eat isn't even actually food. Most of the chocolate you consume isn't even actually chocolate. If you read it, it's called chocolate flavored. And that's how most of our stuff is. Look at maple syrup. Flip maple syrup over and read the ingredients. That's a big old bottle of high fructose corn syrup. It's not good for you. Most of our food is like that. You're best off just eating the basics. And if you can shop at like Amish spots and places like that, farmers markets, places, you know, those kind of situations, that's the best way to go. It's really difficult in the winter time. People ain't exactly harvesting crops and whatnot, but either way, that's the only way to get some real food. You go into Walmart, well, we know we're always covering the problems from the food you see at Walmart. Tyson, Boar's Head, all that kind of stuff. It's all bad. Either way, next up we got U.S. government denying the existence of drone sightings, says Representative Burchett, talking about how there's still symptoms that we're dealing with these drone problems, but the government and the media, they don't want to cover it, they don't want to talk about it, and they don't want to raise any awareness to it. So we got 5 minutes of drone stuff coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the FDA banning this Red Number 3, and why exactly are they doing that, right? Because I don't trust the FDA. They don't seem to make any good choices for us. So why are they making these moves all of a sudden? Hair Juicer, you at the vet right now? Well, good luck to you. It's never a fun time. At least when I take animals to the vet, it's always a nightmare. I guess I'm the one with the anxiety, though. Guess I made it over 60 years eating crap food. I'm good with it. Yeah, I don't know. I got so much stomach problems. I'm lucky if I can get through just eating meat and vegetables without having issues. So I'm always worried about what's in the food. What's up, Bobo? Happy freedom to you. Roberta, FDA can now claim Biden banned Red Number 3. I mean, they could. That's what they're kind of doing right now. Anything that happens, they're like, look at the great things the old man Walter's doing. Like, yeah, like he's ever done a great thing in his life. I've said it so many times. The only good things that old man Walter ever did was call President Trump the MAGA king, saying that the economy we had under Trump was Trumponomics. And there was one other thing besides falling off that bike in front of all of us. But that's about it. That's about it. He's never done anything good for any of us. Hooligans Island, all that hot sauce and lemon juice combination. Yeah, Hooligans Island. I can feel my stomach aching just reading that comment. I don't know why. Hot sauce isn't too bad on me, but that lemon juice, that lived with me for a couple days. That was hardcore. People are like, you want to do a shot of tequila? I'm like, you ever done a shot of lemon juice? That's how you really get some hair on your chest. Stoner, rat cancer. Yeah, that's what that last video was really about. What's up, Jump Offa? Happy freedom to you. Wayward. She wore green. That's all we really cared about. Yeah, her shirt was weird. It had like some sort of like straw stitching in the middle. I don't know if she got that from the CCP as a gift or what. Wayward. Trump made Biden do it. That's badass. President Trump called in the shots. Stoner, spicy chip clips. Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but we might have some chip clip kind of stuff in the merch. Merch coming up. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Some talks going on in the background here. Roberta, I drink fresh squeezed lemon water mixed with my own berry grape juices every morning. Liver cleanse and heart healthy. That's awesome, Roberta. Yeah, I was drinking straight lemon juice. I can't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas. It was whooping my ass. It was whooping my ass. High Plains Drifter, he stole that MAGA hat too? Yeah, I forgot about that. Old man Walter rocking the MAGA hat. He should walk around the White House with it. Neighbor guy, you should put your bill on auto pay. I do. I actually get $5 off a month or something from having auto pay. All my bills are on auto pay. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to pay them. I just running the live is like 30 something services I got to pay for random reasons. Like my bills are crazy. They're so bad that I don't look at them. I just try to make enough money that no red flags pop up. I have no idea. I barely make enough to eat. As long as the lights are on, I'm good. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. Falling up the steps, rock too. Yeah, that's true, Lisa. That's right. He's always fighting gravity. Lisa, why does our food need coloring? Oh, because they want to make it exciting for kids. I don't think adults care about it. Well, maybe women do. I don't see men really caring about things being flowered up. But kids, right? They're excited about bright colors and stuff like that. That's why the cereal is trash. Almost everything in the cereal aisle is just garbage. Yeah, Lisa, I think the same thing. I think you're right. Tony Rich, the legendary red number 3. That's right. I can't. What's in Mountain Dew? Is it yellow number 5 or something like that? When I was in middle school, we were all telling each other, you shouldn't drink Mountain Dew because the yellow 5 in it makes your wiener small. We really were telling, is that a universal thing or is that just in Michigan? We were all telling each other that, and we'd be like hanging out at lunch and we'd see kids drinking Mountain Dew and we'd be like, ooh, little wiener over there. So stupid. Never was brave enough to go look up the science behind that, but yeah. What's up, Scott? Happy freedom to you. Put honey on my pancakes and waffles instead of syrup. Yeah, I do the same thing. I put honey on everything. It's the best way to sweeten anything, and it's good for you. Real honey is. What's up, Cinderella? Happy freedom. Cinderella, geez, I'm behind. She gave Jack Sullivan and Biden credit for the negotiations for Israel. Even Biden acknowledged Trump team too. Yeah, they kind of mentioned it during the press briefing, but the beginning of today's live was a shit show because of internet problems. So I don't even know if we actually covered that part of it, but Yeah, KJP was trying to refuse to give President Trump any kind of credit, but Old Man Walter came out and spoke earlier. I didn't hear what it was, but I seen a lot of people responding to him being live, and yeah, I guess that they got some talks underway and got some things solved. What's up, DB? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy freedom to you. Extra Bill, Lizard Person Green. Yeah. KJP was looking weird. She was, I don't know if it was the light eyeshadow or there was something weird about her appearance. She washed her hair for the first time, so I mean, at least, you know, there was that. And there was something weird going on with her face. I don't know if she had too much makeup on or what. Sure crazy. Why are all my messages black? Got some racist. You guys, come on. Come on now. Jamie, I told my cousin his wiener would fall off from yellow number 5. See, I didn't go. You took it too far, Jamie. You took it too far. You're probably just trying to save your cousin, but man, we never told anybody it would fall off. That's the worst. Wayward, I think her hair needs some poofed up. Well, I think it's the grease. You know, I think it's a couple days, you know, sleeping on Hunter Biden's couch. She gets that flat spot in the back, and then it poofs it up on the sides. Like I said, she just washed it, so I think that, you know, that contributed to it. Black White Bull, happy freedom to you. Honey never goes out of date. Yeah, we were talking about honey quite a bit yesterday. It's starting to be a daily topic. MU, they find drugs at the White House and blame the Orange Eagle. Yeah. Happy freedom, MU. It'll be interesting going the next 4 years without them discovering drugs and random stuff at the White House like that. You know, they never figured out who leaked the Roe vs. Wade stuff. You notice how that just went away? They wanted to know who leaked that from the Supreme Court. No one ever found out. Oh, okay. So you just got people leaking what's going on in the government, and that's A-okay? I don't know. It's going to be a different administration starting Monday. Extra Bill, KJP sleeps on a warm rock. You're probably right. She gets in the kennel, she clicks on the little red light at the top and slithers away. You're probably right. Scott, I made a healthy mix of garlic and honey the other day just to stay healthy. I seen something about taking a mason jar, filling it with chopped up onions, and then putting garlic in, and put garlic in it, 2 garlic cloves, and then filling it to the top with honey, and then just letting it sit in the fridge. I guess you can just eat it out of the jar like that, but I guess you can also strain it and then just eat the honey, and it has some sort of like medicinal properties to it. I just seen that a week ago. Teasel, Malwart. See, my brain ain't gonna let that go. Malwart. Say that out loud. It's very, very strange. Next time you're going to the Malwart, it sounds like a bad word. I don't know what bad word it is, but it sounds like a bad word. Guess some. But what color and number makes it grow? Asking for a friend. I'm not sure. Guess some. I never figured out the science on that. What's up, Josh 1776? Happy freedom to you. At least you made it out of class. You survived it. Rappy, was today her last press briefing? I'm not exactly sure, Rappy, because I was dealing with technical problems. I think today was her last press briefing. We'll know by Saturday. I know that. Either she'll be live sometime the next 2 days, or she won't. That's kind of where I'm at. Probably after the live, I'll go back and rewatch it just to figure things out. But I'm not 100% sure if today was the last press briefing with KJP or not. Ghostly, they never figured out whose coke it was either. It's true, Ghostly. It's because they snorted all the evidence. That's what happened. What's up, Jack? Happy freedom. Orange mop bad. I know, I was just thinking I gotta get new what are they called? Mascot photos We got them for KJP and Captain Hot Dog Fingers and all these people. We're going to have to get new sound bites. The press briefing is going to be completely different. We're so used to roasting KJP, and we're going to have Caroline Levitt in there. We're going to have to just make fun of the press pool. All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next video. Like I said, this is titled, "The U.S. Government Denying the Existence of Drone Sightings," says Representative Burchett. It's coming up next, but first I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up, some more drone videos. It's been a while.
We're joined now by Congressman.
You guys were popping up asking every day, what about the drones? What about the drones? After they banned drones in the airspace of New Jersey, it really died down. We weren't hearing anything about drones for a while, but like I said, Representative Burchett apparently says that there is still stuff going on in the background, but the media and the government, they just don't want to cover it. So hit the thumbs up over on Rumble and let's get into this.
We're joined now by Congressman Burchett, Republican from Tennessee. Good morning, sir. I mean, gosh, dadgum, 3 weeks ago, this was the biggest story in the country. It's completely fallen by the wayside. And you say the story's still out there. So what do you know that we don't?
Well, the drones are still out there. I'm still talking to people that are seeing them. You know, these things flew over our military installations where you had to stop flights. And now it hasn't been reported very much, but it was reported yesterday, I believe, that one of those tanker planes that comes in, swoops in and picks up water and then drops it on the fires in California. The plane is out because guess what? It sucked a drone up into its engines. So this is a huge problem. Our government is denying its existence. The people are saying it's out there. And as usual, you know, Americans want their pizzas in 30 minutes or less. And dadgummit, there you go. You got you a dadgummit. And dadgummit, that's about our attention. That's about our attention span. And we've moved on to another story, but those things are still out there. And it was my original premise that the Chinese were watching this and seeing how we react. Just like the balloon that flew over America that should have been shot down, but it wasn't because our White House and our military intelligence basically are compromised by these folks. And all the Chinese did was just watch to see our reaction. That was the big test. It wasn't getting any information. Heck, they got people up here that are hanging out with congressmen, and you know, they've infiltrated a lot of areas of government, and we just let it ride.
But is the problem still as obviously you're clearly still hearing from people who are seeing these drone sightings, and you have this report of this plane, you know, hitting or sucking up one of these drones into its engine. But is it still as prevalent as it was 3 weeks ago?
I think it is. It's just spread out more now, and nobody's paying any attention to it. So I think it's the chicken or the egg. I think that the plan worked. They wanted to see what we would do, and they know we wouldn't do anything. And so now they're moving on to something else. But the reality is they're still out there. They're still flying these things. They're still surveilling our military installations. They're all over the country. And yet our federal government refuses to admit that there's a problem with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously attention has been focused on the West Coast for, you know, and rightfully so for the past week. But you've still been having conversations behind the scenes, it sounds like. So are you any closer to figuring out what's happening here or what these drones could be part of?
I hate to be the chicken little of the bunch, but I don't think it's extraterrestrials. I think it's the Chinese or somebody in collusion with them, and they're monitoring our response to them. I think it's pretty evident that if they wanted to, they could bring a submarine, say, off the coast of New York and launch, say, 50 of these with nuclear capabilities or biological capabilities or a dirty bomb situation. And I think that's what you got to watch. And it's not James Bond. It's pretty simple to do.
So do you think we're in danger?
Oh, 100%. I think we're completely in danger, and our military is asleep, and our legislative branch is asleep, and currently our media is asleep on it. So, and we know there's no executive branch anymore. It's about 20 kids up there pulling the strings. So we're in a really vulnerable situation for the next few weeks, I believe.
Speaking of the next few weeks, just before I let you go, obviously, President-elect Trump becomes president once again on Monday. Are you hopeful that he'll bring about new change or blow the lid off this story in some form or another?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that after he's here, it'll go away because currently at that stage, because he said we'll shoot them down. And that's the bottom line. He said he knows. He even said that the military and intelligence know where these things are coming from. You know, they can read the date of a dime off the pitcher's mound at Yankee Stadium. Yet they say they can't find out where these things are coming from. They just have an air life of about a couple hours at max, so you can pretty much figure out where they're coming from at that stage. So it's I just think we're inept and arrogant, and those are a terrible combination when you're supposed to be be defending our country.
Right. Yeah. Well. Maybe you just breathed new life back into the story, and we'll stay on top of it. Thank you so much for hopping on, Congressman Burchett. Always appreciate it. I got one dadgum. I'll take it for a Wednesday morning.
Well,
See you next
dadgum,
time.
I'll do better next. I'll do better next time.
Deal. Cheers to that. Hey, thanks for watching.
Dadgum. That's dad's gum. That's what they were saying. Either way, out here talking about the drones, saying they're still here with us. You could tell because when they were fighting fires in California, one of the planes smoked a drone, sucked it up into the engine faster than KJP on that Parmesan. So either way, I don't think they'll ever tell us what the drones are. They kind of dance around the issue. In New Jersey, they were begging for answers, and it just got to the point where they had to ban the airspace. So people couldn't fly drones in certain cities of New Jersey. They also told police officers they can use lethal force against the drones if there is drones in the sky during the ban. I don't know when the ban expires. I'm sure it's not permanent. But I assume at some point we're going to see more drones and still not get any answers. Next up, reports China is considering selling U.S. operations to Elon Musk. This is talking about how China may be selling TikTok to Elon. Now, I don't really think this is going to happen. I think this is all publicity nonsense here. But either way, apparently Elon is inquiring about it. Now, like I've said many, many times, Elon currently owns Vine. Vine is like the original TikTok. It was popular back when Instagram was a new thing, and then it just kind of disappeared. Now, probably a year ago or something, there was a lot of talk about Vine, and there's a connection to it to Elon, and I ended up finding out that Elon owns it. So I thought when TikTok got banned that he would just put out Vine, and all the TikTok users, which they're currently calling themselves TikTok refugees, I figured they would all move over to Vine. And I've said on X kind of has some sort of short form video content thing going on as well. You can watch a video on X, and when the video ends, instead of it looping, it'll actually take you to another video. The next video you see is kind of at random, but I also wonder if it is controlled by algorithms. So it does seem that X is kind of creating their own short form content scrolling ability over there that maybe will be released in the future, but currently is not listed as a feature. With all that going on, now there's talk of Elon potentially buying TikTok while the ban is coming up on Sunday. Again, I don't really think it's going to get banned, but it might. You never know. Either way, that's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Representative Burchett talking about the drones and all of that. Guess they're coming from the sky. Solved. No charge. Thanks, guess yeah, they can track all of that stuff. They, like he was saying, they can read the face of a dime in the middle of a stadium, but they can't tell you where these drones are going. And what they haven't been talking about a lot lately, but they were when the drones were constantly in the news, is that these drones were supposedly the size of a Honda Civic. They can't tell where the flying Honda Civics are coming from? That doesn't make any sense. True, crazy. I don't know what you got going on right now. Shroomish, fuck Elon. Guy proved himself to not be America first. Are you talking about with the visas and all of that? It's interesting how that died down too. They were talking about how there was MAGA infighting because Elon, President Trump, and somebody else, I can't remember who the third, Ram That Salami, they were all talking about the visas and having the ability to hire foreign workers and give them jobs instead of paying Americans to do those same jobs. And then all of a sudden, all that just went away. What's up, Free Thinking Texan? Happy freedom to you. Free Thinking Texan Facebook has shorts too. Yeah, YouTube's got shorts, Facebook and Instagram, they both share reels. I don't know if Threads has got any short form content. Who knows what Blue Sky's got. Bogart, even Trump said they know. He'll tell us next week. Yeah, President Trump seems pretty adamant about telling the public about what's going on with these drones. He seems very confident that he knows that the government knows what's going on. He was also asked, does he have any intelligence on it? Like, did the government speak to him about the drone situation? In which he replied that he didn't want to talk about that, which makes me think that the government did say something about who owns the drones and all of that. So hopefully President Trump does come out and say it. There was a brief moment where they said there was an Iranian mothership off the East Coast and they were sending in these drones to check out the land or something, to, I don't know, to surveil. And then all of a sudden that story got taken down. It's been basically erased from the internet, and they claimed that that wasn't true, even though those statements were coming out of the Pentagon or something like that. I don't know. Hopefully President Trump includes us in the information. Sage Pup, I have a feeling that these drones in China has hacked into our infrastructure, are connected, and maybe they're holding our country hostage and the government is afraid to admit it. That would be something, Sage Pup. Yeah, and they wouldn't tell us because Americans would just start losing their marbles. First thing we do is run out of toilet paper. We already saw that. But then you'd have armed militias marching around, and, well, the Democrats, they can't handle that. Jeb, the drones are ready to spray nasty stuff. That definitely could be. In China, they had drones that were spraying chemicals in the air during the lockdowns, claiming that these chemicals were going to sanitize the air. And that's a scary thing. There's also a lot of footage from drones attacking people in the Ukraine war stuff. Those videos are hardcore. And I've said this before, but I think that eventually drones are going to be banned in warfare because it's too hard to get away from them. They're kamikaze-ing themselves. It's really crazy, the stuff that they can do with drones. And then if you look at the drone light shows where they can have, 100, 200, 400 drones all controlled by a single computer or even a phone, and have it do pre-laid out pathways and stuff like that, that is real danger. That is real danger. If you had 400 drones that are all capable of exploding and stuff like that, and you send them after people, that is crazy warfare there. So I assume that drones eventually will be banned, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities with these drones. What's up, you Hill? Happy freedom to you. Everyone's saying dad gum, dang gum in the chat. Yeah. Josh 1776, hit that like button or you're trans. That's right. That's right. It's the kind of motivation we need around here. Wayward, I think the drones could take off from Chinese farmland in America. Yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, imagine if they were building weapons and stuff on that soil that they've purchased, and they're right here. They're right here in the middle of America. Scary thought. Here, Juicer, it's not a war crime the first time. Yeah, that's basically what they're playing at this point. Guess that's hilarious. My goodness, look at this. And I still got KJP on the screen in the corner there. That is hilarious. Says, want to bump uglies, KJP? No, not offering. Not offering. If the yellow 5 don't make your wiener fall off, KJP, that'll definitely do it. True crazy. Star Wars predicted drones. Good thing stormtroopers can't aim. That's right. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Lived Review? Happy freedom to you. True crazy. True crazy, did you have to sign back in? Because I think you only get 30 days or something like that, and then you have to re-sign into the website. It's for security reasons. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Non-woke clam bumping is not normal. No, but it's probably done on the weekends. Josh 1776. The drones are coming out of Hillary's snatch. Things can't fit on an the things can fit an aircraft carrier. Yep, right in the old minge there. What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy freedom to you. Viola. KJP told reporters gathered in the press briefing room that Biden's White House held 537 briefings and that she personally conducted 306 of them. There are no further on-camera briefings scheduled during Biden's final few days in office. Thank you, Viola. So yeah, it does seem that that was the last press briefing with KJP, which is totally fine with me. We got Caroline Leavitt coming up next week. I don't know when her first press briefing is. I doubt it'll be Tuesday, but maybe it will be. Monday's going to be so busy. And Sunday, we have the Trump rally. I think it's called a victory rally. Got some exciting stuff coming up. Master Meatball, the drones were looking for nuclear material. That's what they were saying, but I never heard anything else about it. Elisa, so the aliens obeyed? Nah, they just stopped talking about it. What's up, Corey Luca? Happy freedom to you. Corey Luca. Panaluna was on Glenn Beck's show today. She said someone she was talking to got his life threatened if you don't shut your mouth about the drones and the UFOs. Interesting, Corey Luca. Salty Ragu Snooks is that? Extra bill. I heard it was 100% BS and China said they would burn it before selling it. So I don't want to talk about it before we get into it, but they do kind of mention that in this video. Scott, I'm gonna miss her hair. KJP, I'm just glad she washed it for the last time. It was looking rough for a minute there. What's up, Drum Time? Welcome back. I fly my drone, but I live in the country. Yeah, drone time. I mean, you're good as long as you obey the law. I don't know what the stipulations are in New Jersey. I got a buddy that flies drones in Ludington and stuff, and obviously there's no problem. There's people here flying drones. I think once you get to a certain height, you start hitting the radar, and that's when, problems start happening. But yeah, lots of attention on drones lately. All right, hooligans. We're going to move on to this next one. Like I said, this is titled Reports China is Considering Selling U.S. Operations to Elon Musk. Let's get this pulled up really quick. This is going to be a short video here. We're only going to play the first half of it. Like I said, this is titled Reports China is Considering Selling U.S. Operations to Elon Musk. This is about TikTok and all of that, the potential ban coming up on Sunday and whether or not they'll sell. Hit the thumbs up over on Rumble and let's get into this.
Now, look, let's talk about TikTok because there have been been reports that Chinese officials were in preliminary talks about a potential option to sell TikTok's operations in the US to Elon Musk, should the app be unable to avoid an impending ban over there. TikTok has since dismissed that. Bhatia, what do you think could happen here? It's very interesting to me because there are over 170 million users in the US alone, many of whom who have built platforms and businesses. They're making money now from this app. It's so popular. If Elon Musk doesn't step in and buy it, is it really the end in the US?
I think it might be. The Chinese have indicated that they would rather completely delete the app than sell it. I think it's very interesting if it does go to Elon Musk, what that says again about his relationship with China, because they would rather delete the app than allow an American to buy it, except Elon Musk, right? Which tells you a lot about that relationship with the CCP. But okay, they're denying it for now. They're not known for telling the truth. I do think that it could happen that TikTok will simply disappear from our phones. It presents a major, major national security risk. The Chinese are constantly stealing data off of people's phones. It's also very unhealthy for children. We know that there are kids who committed suicide because the algorithm on TikTok led them down that dark road. And most importantly, the Chinese don't allow their own children to use this, which tells you a lot about how they think it impacts children. They have their own Chinese version, which is incredibly educational and very boring. Apparently, it's impossible to stay on it for more than 20 minutes without getting bored out of your mind and shutting out of it. So I think it could either sell it to an American or get rid of it. Selling it to Elon Musk is like allowing the Chinese to keep operating it, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, fair enough. I'll be very curious. I know there's a lot of TikTok users over the US who are crying over this decision, yes. But yeah, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? Now,
all right, talking about the TikTok ban coming up, whether or not Elon's actually going to purchase it. I think he also posted on X, kind of hinting towards wanting to purchase TikTok. But like I said, he's already got his hands on short form content, so I don't really know if this is a real inquiry or is it just publicity. It's really interesting that they're trying to ban it the day before President Trump's inauguration day. President Trump has already come out and said that he thinks TikTok contributed to his win of the presidential election. And so, I mean, that speaks volumes. Obviously, President Trump isn't for the ban. And so it's weird that they want to ban it the day before he gets in. And it makes me think that he could just undo all of that. He could just let TikTok stick around if he chooses to do so. There's going to be so many executive orders and changes to happen on Monday. I don't know where TikTok's going to fall on the list. I'm not really that worried about it. Like I've said so many times, that content is everywhere. Most videos you watch on any social media platform has the TikTok logo on it because it was originally posted on TikTok and then was duplicated over onto the other social media platforms. So as a content consumer, you're not going to miss out by not having TikTok. All the social media's got short form content. But for the creators, you know, I kind of feel for those people. A lot of them built up their following and they make their money and pay their rent and stuff by making content on those platforms. Unfortunately, a lot of them did not make other channels, right? They didn't create a YouTube or created whatever and put content on there as well. They put all their eggs in the TikTok basket and things are about to go to shit. So I know a lot of those people are worried about it. And like we were covering yesterday, there's a lot of Americans that are downloading that app called Red Note. That is a Chinese app. The servers are in China. The entire app and description is all written in Chinese. And Americans kind of being spiteful to the TikTok ban, they're now running to Red Note, which is kind of dumb because now they're actually forfeiting their data to China, where the TikTok situation, those servers are in Texas. That data isn't getting to China any more than your data on Facebook is, right? Which that is being sold to China, but in the lane of China harvesting your data directly, these people are leaving TikTok, going to Red Note, and just willingly giving their information to China like a bunch of idiots. They're even talking about learning Mandarin. I mean, you can't scream loud enough that you got a TikTok addiction at that point, you know? So either way, I assume all this stuff will blow over. Everything's just building up because Sunday is supposedly the ban day. Next up, we got Elon Musk being sued over buying Twitter shares at artificially low prices by U.S. finance regulator. Now, this just sounds to me like people crying over Elon making decisions. But like I've said twice already, Elon, before purchasing Twitter, he had purchased about 5% of the company by purchasing shares. He didn't tell anybody that he did it. He just did it. And because he didn't tell anybody, nobody ran out and bought Twitter shares. And so he was able to continue on for the next couple months making purchases of shares at that same low price. And then once he announced that he was purchasing shares of Twitter, well, then the shares skyrocketed because people saw that he was buying it. They took that as incentive to buy shares themselves. Everybody going out and buying shares caused the price to go up. They're saying that because Elon did it in that fashion, that's an act of fraud. Now, that sounds like nonsense to me. If I go and buy, $20 worth of whatever, and I don't disclose that to anybody, that means I'm committing fraud? No, it doesn't. They're just crying because it's Elon. So either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the possibility of Elon purchasing TikTok and whether or not you care that it's being banned on Sunday. Russell, you can't fix stupid. That's right. Saldrego, can China see my porn? Nah, I don't think so. Russell, Trump may be signing 100 executive orders on Monday. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing too. Saldrego, Tic Tac is racist. Mm-hmm. Zero, it would be cool if DJT Media bought TikTok and Trump announced it on Sunday. That would be cool. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, though. Friedrich Texan, USA government wanting TikTok is all about control of the flow of information. Over 1.6 million people use TikTok monthly. Yeah, Friedrich Texan, that's exactly what it is. It's just control. It's just control. That's why I don't believe it's going to go away. And a lot of people have pointed out over the last few days that we've been talking about this TikTok ban that this is just the beginning. If they successfully ban TikTok, maybe they'll ban X. Maybe they'll ban True Social. They went after Parler. So maybe this is a slippery slope that we're up upon right now because, the government is infringing on our free speech not just free speech, but they're censoring us. They're restricting us. We're supposed to be free and we have apps that we can and can't have. That's like having books that we can and can't read or movies that we can and can't watch. This is very much in the same lane. Now, I'm not trying to say that TikTok's a good thing, but the government restricting us from things that we could easily access sounds like communism. And that's a scary thing. Again, TikTok, how great is that? But if they're going to ban X, or what if they just went out and start banning all the conservative platforms? All the platforms that have been built over the last 4 or 5 years because of censorship. What if they just went out and banned those platforms for the same exact reasons? That the government doesn't have the ability to censor you like they do with Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitch, those kind of platforms. Josh 1776, the odds of the education department buying it, I don't know, that'd be interesting. They were talking about how in China their version of TikTok is kind of like an educational platform. Anytime it shows young people on there, it's showing them obeying their parents, obeying their teachers, things like that. Their version of TikTok promotes obedience, discipline, being smart, being prosperous, things like that. Our version of TikTok is women flashing their tits and twerking and men crying about how no one cares about them. So obviously the worlds are different. Our TikToks are different from each other. Rip Curl, I think all of them are selling our info. Yeah. Everything on our phone. Our phone, our tracking devices, and data harvesting devices. That's it. They're listening to us talk. They're watching us text. They're keeping track of our habits, our spending habits, how much time we're on the phone, what we do while we're on the phone. Just look at your battery. Go to your settings, go to your battery settings, and it tells you how much you use every app, how often you use it, what time you use it, how many hours a month you use it. All of our phones keep track of that. Have you ever looked at the data? Have you ever needed that data? No. So why are they tracking it? So they have it. That's why. That's why they got all those analytics and stuff on the phone. It's not that we give a shit about it. It's the fact that they have it already cataloged before our information even leaves the phone. It's just the way it is. They have government documents out there from 50, 60 years ago that talk about how every American should have a GPS device on them so they could be tracked by the government. Now we all got cell phones. We don't even think twice about it. You look in those disclosed government documents because of the FOIA Act, the Freedom of Information Act, there's so much information that points to what our cell phones are today. That's why we need term limits right there, is because of that. Because they can roll out these 100-year agendas because Congress stays the same. They go from being Congress to being lobbyists. And it just goes back and forth until the agendas are rolled out. What's up, 8Co? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Real James? Appreciate you being here. Josh 1776. Do you see that JP Morgan opens in, I don't know what that is, in India? Now there's no need for call centers. They'll just work straight for Chase with access to our accounts. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Josh 1776. Outsourcing. Oh, HQ. I see what you're saying. Outsourcing work and stuff like that. I feel like nothing's safe or smart anymore, like to any degree. David, everyone bent over for convenience. Yeah. Yep. That's why it's been so hard to get Hooligans from YouTube over to Rumble. It's because it's convenient to be on a platform that censors you. It's been a struggle for years. What's up, Guess Who? Happy freedom to you. Guess Who? The menu on your phone about the battery came about from rules and regulations in the EU, which is interesting because we're always talking about the EU and how they're regulating phones. Instead of making two operating systems for two markets, they use one for the US, the EU, Asia, and Latin and South America. I work for Samsung Mobility. Yeah, Guess Who? Our phones, they do a lot more than we think they do. Harvesting all of our information to the highest bidder. What's up, Zeus Boo? Happy freedom. It's interesting to see you on Twitch. Thank you so much, C1, for the bits over on Twitch. I appreciate the support. Thank you, C1. What's up, Wiggly Tough? Happy freedom to you. Can't wait for Monday. I know, me too. We got, like I said, we got President Trump holding a rally on Sunday. We are going to go live. Normally, we don't go live on Sunday, but we're going to cover that Trump rally on Sunday. And then Monday, we got protests in the morning time at some point, I'm sure. I don't have it exactly on the calendar, but I know how it's going to go. We're going to start out with protests and crazy shit in the streets. Then we're going to hold the inauguration. We'll be covering that in its entirety. And then we'll be covering any chaos that happens after the inauguration, because I assume we will have more protests and stuff. Now, will we see riots? I don't really know, but we're guaranteed to see some protests. There's going to be mad people. There's already mad people about President Trump winning the election. There's absolutely going to be protests on Monday. And so Sunday and Monday is going to be very busy days for us. Teasel, I'd watch you on Truth if I could. I inquired with Truth to see if we can go live over there, And they said I don't have a big enough following. They didn't say it like that, but that's basically what they said, is that I'm not a big enough deal on Truth for them to give me access to live streaming over there, which really sucks. But what can I do? I guess I could just ask you guys to follow me on Truth. It's the best I can do. Cinderella, the drones are spraying fungi spores. Definitely could be. Maybe that's what the mist is, the fog. The nationwide fog we found out we had. What's up, good buddy? Happy freedom to you. Good buddy James O'Keefe needs more attention. Yeah, he kicks ass over on Twitter. I always want to play his videos, but they're too damn long. He needs 5-6 minute videos, and he does a lot of work and stuff, and so really I'm complaining about something that doesn't matter to what he does. But if his videos are 5 or 6 minutes, we'd have O'Keefe on the schedule more often. But when he puts out videos that are 25 minutes long, we're not going to sit here and watch a 25-minute video. But his content is great, and the things he does is awesome, and he absolutely does deserve more attention to what he's got going on over there. What's up, Michael? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Flies High? Happy freedom to you. Cinderella, my internet keeps dropping. They were here yesterday. Ugh. Yeah, Cinderella. Well, you guys saw me earlier. I can't stand internet problems. Not at all. Peter, happy freedom to you. Maybe one day YouTube will chill out and realize Rumble's the shit. Maybe. It's hard to say. It's weird to see Facebook trying to make the change that they're making. Right? Facebook took Dana White, hired him on the board of directors. I saw today that Facebook laid off like 5% of their staff. They've already announced that they are getting rid of their DEI program. They are also getting rid of their fact checkers program. And they're just trying to turn into what they are calling a free speech platform. Zuckerberg's been going out. He was on Joe Rogan. He's been interviewed on a couple platforms. He's making statements that he's trying to support free speech and that it wasn't his fault that everyone was being censored and suspended on Facebook, but it was the government's fault. Now, I do believe it was the government's fault, but I also believe that Mark Zuckerberg didn't lift a finger to try and stop that censorship from happening, because not all platforms censored us, especially to the degree that Facebook did. Now, like I said, Facebook's making this 180 turn and making claims that they're going to turn Facebook, Meta is going to be a free speech platform, which in Facebook, Threads, Instagram, all of that is owned by Meta. WhatsApp is owned by Meta. Oculus is owned by Meta. So all of these platforms supposedly are just going to become free speech. I'm waiting to hear YouTube say something. Are they going to keep going with the bullshit? Or are they going to make announcements that they're going to start standing up for free speech? Because I'll tell you, ever since I got demonetized, April 1st? No, that's when my identity was still in. It's been a long life. Whenever I got demonetized, maybe it was in October. Ever since then, I haven't been suspended. I haven't had a strike. I haven't been disciplined in any kind of way. So it kind of seems like they lifted the moderation on YouTube, but I can't trust them. Just like Facebook. You burn me that bad, I can't just turn around and just act like everything's going to be great now. You know, I just can't. Lone Wolf, the feds threatened him, 230. See, but the Fed boys went after YouTube. They went after Twitter. We covered the Twitter files and stuff. They could have stood against it, and they didn't. They could have raised awareness to it. I mean, imagine that, right? Like, I get an email from the White House or a phone call, and they're like, "Hey, I need you to censor all the hooligans over on the website." Well, if I can't prevent the censorship, then we're going to raise crazy awareness to it. We're going to put the emails on the internet. We're going to record the entire phone call and put that on the internet. We're going to just put everything out in the open, because that's how I get down. Zuckerberg didn't do that. Twitter didn't do that. YouTube didn't do that. It was other people that had to blow the whistle on what was going on. Those platforms complied. That's what they did. It was Jim Jordan that told us that YouTube was being commanded by the White House. YouTube didn't even come out and tell on themselves. Mark Zuckerberg told on himself. Elon and the media came out and told on the Twitter files. But it was Jim Jordan that came out and told on the YouTube files about the government controlling YouTube censorship and banning people like me and censoring people like me in the name of medical misinformation, which just simply meant that they didn't like what you had to say. And that's wrong. That shit is wrong. And so, you know, like I said, I'm waiting. Is YouTube going to come out and make an announcement? Or are they just moving around in the background? You know? Teasel, Rumble was going to be bought by BlackRock, still researching. Yeah, Teasel, I keep hearing that stuff. And I don't know, because I know BlackRock's bad. I know everything that they purchase is being controlled by them. But Rumble has gone way out of their way to help us in a lot of different situations. And I mean, like the head of production, being in communication with the head of production. Somebody has got Grammy Awards and stuff like that, coming to help little old me and all the hooligans, right? YouTube's never done that. Twitch has never lifted a finger to do that. The only thing we've had is Odyssey. Odyssey has worked with me on a couple things. But I was working with the engineers that keep Rumble running, right? The people who keep the servers running. We were on a video chat trying to figure out how to keep the live running at a high quality. My settings on my live streaming software were set up by the Rumble engineers. That's how close we are to them. We'll never see that with YouTube. We'll never see that with YouTube. So I do question BlackRock purchasing Rumble, but until I actually see some tangible evidence of it, Rumble has been a huge help to us. They have done outstanding work and, like I said, gone out of their way to make sure our live runs well, to make sure that we're not being censored, we're not being throttled and stuff like that, fixing technical problems. Rumble's been badass for us, so I don't have anything bad to say about Rumble. Well, we're going to go ahead and move forward now that I'm done with my TED Talk here. You know, I'm just saying. Anyways, like I said, this next one here is Elon Musk sued over buying Twitter shares at artificially low prices by U.S. finance regulator. Now, this sounds like bullshit to me. It just sounds like them crying about Elon. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to access or see the big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump rally like we got coming up on Sunday. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get into this next video here. Elon being sued because people cried their little eyes out. Here we go. Hit the thumbs up over on Rumble and let's get this rolling.
Well, Elon Musk is being sued by the US government's financial regulator for failing to disclose his purchase of more than 5% of Twitter stock in a timely fashion. The world's richest man bought his shares in early 2022, and officials say the delayed announcement allowed him to continue buying at artificially low prices. Our business presenter, Darren McCaffrey, joins us now. Darren, just explain to us why this is potentially illegal and going to get him into some hot water.
Yeah, indeed. And it's not the first time it should be said, Wilf, that the Securities and Exchange Commission has investigated the world's richest man, Elon Musk. But this dates back to the build-up, if you like, to Mr. Musk trying to buy Twitter back in 2022. So what happened is on the 14th of March, he bought more than 5% of Twitter, but didn't publicly declare that until April 4th. And then the interesting thing on April 4th is that when it became public knowledge that Elon Musk had bought Twitter shares, they then went up more than 27%. And so the kind of allegation, if you like, is that Musk was able to continue purchasing shares at artificially low prices, allowing him, they claim, to underpay by $150 million because the public, everyone else, was not aware that it was Musk buying these Twitter shares. Now, eventually, of course, he bought the company in October 2022 for some $44 billion. He's subsequently renamed it X, and it's got into all sorts of controversy. But the US Securities and Exchange Commission is essentially saying that he may well have to pay a fine on this and that it is a contravention of US security laws. As I say, it's not the first time, not around Twitter, but in some of his other businesses that he's been investigating. And of course, Elon Musk has been the centre of lots of controversy in recent weeks, whether it is tweets he sent out about our Prime Minister here in the UK, about his relationship with Donald Trump. We know there's going to be a big battle with the tech billionaires who's going to have more influence over Donald Trump. I think I read today that Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg are all jostling for position to see who's going to sit closer to President-elect Trump at his inauguration next Monday. And then, of course, he's going to have a role in the Trump administration as well. So there's all that kind of controversy, and at the same time, it looks like this investigation into whether he was open and as transparent as he should have been when he was buying Twitter shares back in 2022.
All right, like I said, it sounds like a bunch of nonsense to me. They're all mad that he didn't disclose that he was buying shares. I don't know why he has to. If I bought shares, who do I gotta tell? Nobody. It's nobody's business what you spend your money on. So that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand what the hang up is here. Okay, he purchased the shares. He didn't raise publicity to it, so then he could continue purchasing shares without the price moving. I mean, it moved naturally. But when he did break the news, hey, I've been purchasing shares at Twitter, well, then the price went up because the public saw that and they were like, well, if he's buying it, maybe I should buy it. And that drove the price up. So then from that point on, when he made purchases, it was at a higher price. These people are crying that he should have had to pay the bigger price anyways, because when he initially purchased the 5%, he should have told everybody. Well, why? Why should he have told everyone? Nobody has any answers for that. So now they're trying to act like he's a fraud, and they're even saying in certain versions of this same video, this is, there's 22 other news companies out here covering the same story, but they're out there saying that the purchase of Twitter was like a security risk and all this, like it's a threat to our democracy because, not President Trump, but Elon didn't disclose that he had purchased 5% of Twitter 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They're just crying over him not giving up extra money. Like, crying about problems prior to him purchasing the overall platform. Why? Why does that matter? Why are we starting lawsuits now over that? Crying. That's the only thing I could think of. Crying, because they can't prove their point. Not at all. This next video is Peter Doocy. These were Biden's final acts as president. It's just going through a list of the shit show that the Biden administration has been. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about them crying over Elon purchasing shares of Twitter without telling anybody. Thanks for disclosing that, Zero. Your purchases or your transactions are not fraudulent. I don't know why they care so much about what he discloses. You ain't gotta tell nobody shit. I know, that's what I'm saying. Jay Spray, I didn't know you had to announce you're buying shares. See, isn't this a weird story? Hair juicer. Good God, that accent is worse than a head cold. Yeah, he's a little raspy on the mic there. I ain't got any business talking about sounding like shit on the microphone. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough 12, 13 days. I mean, I ain't really that sick anymore, but I'm sick in the head. Holy. Zero. OBS, he's a private citizen. He doesn't have to reveal that he bought stock. Yeah. Matt Rogers, how about Nancy? Exactly. Happy freedom to you, Matt Rogers. Yeah, how about Nancy? Nancy Pelosi don't disclose the stock that she buys. Here, Juicer, people would flip shit if Rumble sold out. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Rumble's biggest selling factor is the free speech. So if they were purchased by BlackRock and stuff, yeah, people would be upset. Hey, thank you for being here, Sam. Be safe out there. Russell, I'm looking forward to the rally. I am too. I'm so excited to cover the Trump rally. I'm glad we got all those problems taken care of today, so we should be all good on Sunday. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Zero, did Thoughtbot ban Trigger Crazy? No, Thoughtbot doesn't have that power. There's no way for that to happen. Is Trigger Crazy still with us? Let me see here. Actually, no, I don't see Trigger Crazy on the list anymore. He's not banned. I don't know. He probably just dipped out. He said that he got kicked from the chat, but I think what happened is he probably got to the 30-day point of being logged in, and it made him log in again. Otherwise, no. Nobody has the ability to be banned on the website unless I do it. And I haven't had to do that to anybody. You'd have to really, really mess up for me to ban you from the website. I mean, you'd have to go out of your way. I'm not in the business of banning people, right? I'm trying to provide a space where you're not getting banned. You're not being censored. You don't have to censor yourself. You could just speak freely as an American, or, you know, even if you're outside of America. Not in the business of banning people. Trigger Crazy, you're all good on the website though, right? Everybody's worried about you on the website. Told the carrier, haters gonna hate every day. If they're hating, you're doing something right. MC, Nancy buys shares and magically they take off. All that insider trading. DCAT, the Democrats knew about Elon's purchase of Twitter. They're just pulling it out of their back pocket right now to try and pull something over the Americans' eyes. I agree, DCAT. Like I said, crying about stuff that happened in 2022. And we're going to just bring it up right now? That doesn't make sense. Non-woke, Elon is in their heads worse than President Trump is. Yeah, they are crying hard over Elon. All the Democrats and the liberals on the internet, they're running around saying President Elon, calling President Trump VP, or the other way around, calling Elon the vice president and stuff. I don't know. Liberals got nothing better to do than have meltdowns. High Plains Drifter, 10% of the big guy. That's what they're really bent out of shape about. Real James. Elon told me about it, so he's covered. That's right, Real James. He disclosed it. They just weren't listening. That's the problem. Energy Woman, it is a sticky wicket they all benefit from, called insider trading. That's right. Those people on Capitol Hill, that's how all of them got rich. Non-woke liberal tears are so delicious. Interesting, Trigger Crazy. I will look into it. I'm not sure why that happened. Astro Hammer, I remember one time I went to YouTube when Jeff was cutting them off after one video. I would be in the chat saying, "No, Jeff Mac, please don't leave us." And Jeff said, "That's the kind of stuff that'll get you banned." Yeah, Astro Hammer. I know, sometimes I'm a little edgy. It happens. My job don't seem hard, but it is. It is mentally exhausting. Here, Juicer, the shit I say in post, yeah, the ban hammer has a heavy trigger. Yeah, it would take a lot to get banned. I don't want to ban people from the website. Jamie, you can't do it from the live streaming area, from the live, I don't even know what we're calling it now. From the live screen, you're not able to use the message system because it interferes with watching the live and messing with the chat. But if you go anywhere else on the website, you have access to your messages and stuff. You can message anybody in any of the groups, and you can post directly in the group chat, and anybody who's a part of the group can see that chat, which like our general chat. Or you can individually write each other, call each other, video call each other, things like that. You just can't do it from the live screen Like I said, it interferes with the chat and the watching the live. Yeah, true, crazy. I'll look into that. I'm not sure why that was happening. Oh, yeah, Zero. If you're on, yeah, you can only see that if you're on PC, though. I think if you're on a phone, I don't think you can see the chat button at the top. I don't know. I'm always on the computer. David, hope you can have a good vacation soon. That'd be something, David. I've never had a vacation before in my life. I've never had a vacation before, but maybe one day. I don't know. I don't like being away from you hooligans. I get separation anxiety. It's just how I'm built. God made me this way. Guess who? Jeff stock tip: buy and hold Subaru. Yeah, I got a little bit of Subaru, not much, like a whole $4 or something, something like that. Yeah, we got to make Subaru great again. What's up, Alex King? Happy freedom to you. Courtly, still banned from X. Yeah, see, and that's what gets me about Elon claiming that X is a free speech platform. It's not. It's not a free speech platform. It's not as bad as, Facebook or whatever, but it's definitely not free speech. Teasel, yeah. Well, you can watch on Rumble. You just can't access the chat unless you're signed in. Drone, you didn't ban me. I appreciate that. Well, yeah, I don't want to ban you guys. Even when people are trolling and stuff, I give them grace. Just let them hang around. Most of our long-lived hooligans has showed up as trolls. Showed up talking shit, kind of roughing up the chat. And as long as it wasn't too bad, I let them hang out. And after a while, you gain their respect and turning trolls into hooligans. It's how it goes. That's part of what makes us hooligans. So we're a little rough around the edges. So I got to have grace for it. We're built this way. Not sure because you ain't doing nothing to me. I'm trying to get that problem figured out after the live. Snooks, yeah, stress flipping the chapstick here. I really want to know how many miles this chapstick's got on it. It's the whole live. Even when I'm not live, if I'm sitting here working, I'm sitting here flipping the chapstick. Hair juicer, nope, that was a lie. Don't be lying, hair juicer. All right, hooligans, let's get into this next video. We got this one and one more, and that'll wrap up our news, and we got some funny videos coming up afterwards. This next video is Peter Doocy. It's titled, "These Were Biden's Final Acts as President."
Meanwhile,
hit that thumbs up over on Rumble, and let's get into this.
Meanwhile, tonight, President Joe Biden is set to give his farewell address, speaking to the nation from the Oval Office one final time.
Yeah, it's the opposite of an Irish goodbye. Irish goodbye, they just leave. You don't know where they went. He's Irish, and he's taking forever to say goodbye. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy joins us with more. Peter.
Yeah, well, this is the last time that we expect to hear from President Biden before he retires to Delaware, and we think he is going to talk a lot about himself. The White House shared a letter from the president. It's not addressed to anybody, but part of it says, "It has been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States." We don't know if the president tonight is going to circle back on his 2020 promise to restore the soul of the nation, or if he's going to explain why, despite advertising decades of experience working with Republicans, he ultimately worked so little with Republicans. And we see this. A lot of the stuff that he's been doing lately has just been with the executive pen, like pardoning Hunter Biden, commuting death row sentences, giving Hillary Clinton and George Soros medals of freedom, closing off new areas of drilling offshore, transferring prisoners out of Guantanamo Bay, giving more money to Ukraine, relieving some folks who are set to be deported, and taking Cuba off the state sponsor of terrorism list. The president was also talking last night about how he thinks he's had the most ambitious climate agenda ever. That's what he wants people to think when they look back at his term, even though we know the general mood in this country. People don't look at Joe Biden and think, wow, he's doing so much for the climate. They look at the last 4 years and they think, well, we've had some real problems with inflation and national security and the border. So stay tuned for 8 o'clock tonight. We'll see how much he talks about those three things. Back to you.
Good point. And that's why he is deeply unpopular. Peter, on Inauguration Day, I think you're supposed to be in the Oval Office when Donald Trump comes in. So Joe Biden's going to leave him a letter in the drawer of the Resolute desk. You should ask him to open it up and just see what Joe had to say to Don.
Would be great if President Trump, when he comes in, could show us the letter. And also, what else does the president leave in the drawers? Usually when somebody moves out of an office, there's like some pens.
You know what Biden's leaving in his drawers. Don't ask that.
There could be some old snacks.
Snacks. The last time he was live at the Resolute desk was when he dropped out of the race.
Yeah.
Live on television. All right. Thank
The
you,
question
Peter.
about when he was last live is a different one.
Correct.
We never found out the letter that Biden got from Trump. Yeah. But he said nice things. He goes, it was something like gracious.
And now
So anyways, Old Man Walter's accomplishments, if that's what you can call them. Like I said, the best of the best of Old Man Walter is talking about MAGA King and MAGAnomics when he wasn't falling up and down the stairs or off of bicycles. That's about it. Can't get out of the White House fast enough. Sunday Monday is going to be a new day for all of us. We got one more news video coming up. It's titled Lefties Losing It, Democrats Banging and Carrying On about Pete Hegseth. Now, this isn't only about Pete Hegseth, although there is quite a few references to yesterday's confirmation hearing. But there's a plethora of videos here. Democrats losing their marbles in front of us. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Peter Doocy and the things that they were listing off as Biden's accomplishments before leaving office. Snug's leaving in his drawers. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like, I wonder what Biden's leaving in his drawers. Turds. What are you talking about? You've been covering them for 4 years. You know what that is. You know what that smell is. Zero, the office will need to be fumigated. No, that was a set. He never been in the Oval Office. Yeah, definitely could be Zero. I don't know how they're going to get that smell out of the White House, though. Russell, did Doocy just fart? I didn't hear it. Was it a glitter fart like we were talking about yesterday? Zero. Like Burchett said, it's 20 other people running the government. Yeah, Old Man Walter is just running down his leg. Hair juicer with the chip clip. It's awesome. Look at the MAGA King. Love that. They need to bring him back. We're the only ones talking about MAGA King these days. MC, a bunch of dirty diapers. That's what I'm saying. The smell's got to be bad enough to peel the paint off the walls. I don't know how they're going to fix that. You're going to need more burning candles. Yeah, Courtly. I think so too. They keep saying Old Man Walter is going to be, he'll be around. He's not going to be out of sight, out of mind. And I just wonder, what does that mean? What does that mean? What's he going to be? He's going to be lobbying. He's going to be hanging out. He's going to be buds with President Trump after he called him a threat to democracy for 4 years? I don't think so. I think they'll stage some sort of event and they'll say he kicked the bucket or something. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but we see how they handle Old Man Walter. What's up, Enter User? Happy freedom to you. Energy Woman? No, I don't know why that's happening. Are you on the website or are you on the Rumble app? David, bring back the Thug Life Trump memes. Yeah, they'll be back in full force starting on Sunday or Monday, I'm sure. David is going to leave his bike. He's going to leave his bike in the White House garage. I wouldn't be surprised. What's up, CB Michigan? Happy freedom to you. Wayward poop. Yep, that's right. That's what he's leaving in the drawers. Michigan Patriot. Seriously? Another Biden goodbye? I know, we got to say goodbye to him all week. Like I mentioned earlier in the live, after we had problems, but before we started covering the news, old man Walter, I want to hit the button on myself. At 8 p.m. Eastern time, old man Walter is supposed to be live. It's titled, Biden delivers a farewell address to the nation. I figured since this is old man Walter saying goodbye to all of us, probably with both middle fingers up, we might as well cover it. He's only going to be live for 7.5 minutes tops, right? So, like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be covering Old Man Shit Your Pants live from the White House, I assume. So about 2 hours and 10 minutes from now, we will be live again with old man Walter as he says farewell to all of us. He'll probably call us garbage again. Here, Juicer, I'm still waiting on that golf game that Biden challenged. If old man Walter and the Orange Eagle decided to hit the green, we would totally cover that. Absolutely. Hill, how badass would it be? Trump just destroys old man Walter on the golf course a day before he replaces him. It'd be awesome, Hill. All right, Trigger Crazy. Well, I'll still look into it just in case those problems pop back up. Yeah, Stoner. I've always been open to both sides. It's just that the liberals get into the chat and then they start crying really hard, and it's not fun when you got people just crying in the chat all day. They weed themselves out. It's always been that way ever since the beginning. I've always let Democrats and stuff get in the chat. I don't care what they say. They used to hop in the chat and say BLM and all that. I don't care. As long as you're not posting that 17 times in a row, I don't care. But they can't help themselves. They can't. They have no self-control at all. Klaus Daniels showed up, scratched the cat tower for a second, dipped out. Lazy. Needs to clock in. Hooligans Island, gonna leave the bunny and panda costume heads in the bed? Probably. What's up, Gypsy? Happy freedom to you. Gypsy, Trump dialing up Biden. Hey, is this your laptop under the bed? You want this? They'd be pressing charges against him again, like Hunter Biden pressing charges against the laptop repair guy, saying he didn't authorize him to look into the laptop. Dude, that doesn't dissolve you of accountability for having terrible stuff on your laptop. Come on, man. They went from saying it wasn't real to that guy shouldn't have been looking at my wiener pictures. Like, stupid. So stupid. What's up, Christopher? Happy freedom to you. True crazy. BLM, Biden left manure right on the seat. They're going to have to throw the whole chair out. High Plains Drifter, was Biden at Jimmy Carter's memorial? I'm not sure. I was not paying enough attention to the Carter funeral, any of that stuff. Guess who? Biden left sex toys in the Oval Office. God, I hope not. Could you imagine having to clean that out of the drawer? You're like, what is that smell? And you open the drawer and you're like, oh, what the hell is that? I don't even know what you do with those things. Where did he stick those? Either way, moving forward here. It's the last little bit of our news before we get into the fun stuff. It's titled Lefties Losing It. Democrats banging and carrying on about Pete Hegseth. Now, like I said, this isn't only about Pete Hegseth. This is a plethora of videos here of lefties losing their marbles. I guess today Pam Bondi and I think Rubio also had their confirmation hearings. Pam Bondi, she was letting them have it. I think tomorrow we'll probably try and find a compilation video, or maybe we'll grab a couple clips of Pam Bondi fighting back during the confirmation hearing. Either way, let's get into this. But first, hit that thumbs up over on Rumble.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. And don't we have a treat coming up for you? The lunacy at Pete Hegseth's confirmation hearing. You won't want to miss the incoherent meltdowns. But first to this lefty who is reinventing the gender wheel, claiming the sex of a baby on an ultrasound can't possibly be right.
The parts you see on an ultrasound don't determine a baby's gender. And how is that possible? Well, think about it like this marker. A blue cap usually means a blue marker, but sometimes marker caps get switched, and in this case, it is a pink marker. See, that's what happened to me. They saw something on the ultrasound that usually means it's a boy, but the cap was cap, and I turned out to be a girl.
Oh, it's all very lucrative now using Crayola pens to determine gender. Who's going to tell him that swapping caps makes no difference to the parts you're born with? But cute try, very cute, very sweet. Now to Donald Trump's impending inauguration. Can't come soon enough. And his pick to perform America the Beautiful, Carrie Underwood. And the news has truly shattered and destroyed the has-been hyenas over at The View. In fact, it's yet another hard knock for them.
I wouldn't do it, even though I can't sing.
You would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
And have we heard from Sonny Austin yet? A smiley, true delight of a woman.
I agree with you, Joy. I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
Well, thank goodness we clarified that one. We were losing sleep. We wanted to know the answer to that, and no doubt Sonny's announcement would come as to a shock to Donald Trump himself. And it's not just The View. This is the worst day of the feminist cult's lives.
Carrie Underwood is going to perform at Trump's inauguration.
Now to Gavin Newsom, the hapless and hopeless California governor who is really living up to his name as a slimy used car salesman. Can someone please explain the shoulder shimmy?
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties.
How's that? A little smile, a little shimmy, a little dance, manicured hair, fresh Botox. A real man of the people in the middle of a fire zone, isn't he? And here he is again, showing just how personable he is.
My humble position, and it's not just being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative of moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation.
He's overstimulated, perhaps taking California dreaming way too far. And never mind Gavin Newsom's failures to prepare the state for fires, because you can always trust Whoopi Goldberg to give the best possible explanation.
Here's how this works. There was a fire catastrophe in California. Had to do with winds. You know how they always say, oh, the wind. It actually does. The winds move things and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have if 900,000 buildings go up at the same time.
Wow, how was that? It is good to know that Whoopi is such an expert on wind. And speaking of loony explanations,
I want to take a minute to talk about looting, because I think it's worth considering why people would run into an active fire to steal stuff rather than fleeing the fire. And it seems like in the media coverage that I'm listening to that people think that people are just like greedy who want to be looting. And I'm just wondering if maybe these people have actually considered whether it is safer for them to run into a fire or to continue to exist within capitalism without access to resources. And after weighing the pros and cons, they concluded that the safer option is to run into the fire to steal stuff.
Yes, that absolutely makes total sense. Total sense, doesn't it? Now to Pete Hegseth being hounded by bitter banshees at a Senate committee. And I've got to say, this basically just sums it up.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Veterans organizations that will help our veterans get every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line.
Says it all, isn't it? But, look, it wouldn't be a lefties losing it without actually taking you through the lefties losing it. So let's start with Elizabeth Warren, the delightful Elizabeth Warren, banging and carrying on.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
What the hell?
The gotcha didn't quite work there. And the yelling theatrical sideshow didn't end there.
In the DOD, everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way? Once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal. I mean, you're basically saying women, after they have children, can't ever serve in the military in a combat role. It's a silly thing to say. It's a silly thing to say, beneath the position that you are aspiring to. To denigrate LGBTQ service members is a mistake. If you are a sharpshooter, you're as lethal regardless of what your gender identity is, regardless of who you love.
And it just doesn't end there. It didn't end there because cue what appeared to be a drunk and incoherent Mazie Hirono from Hawaii.
Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
That sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying out such an order to basically invade Greenland and take over the Panama Canal.
Yes, they really brought the big ones out from Hawaii for this one, didn't they? And then the Democrats' tragic attempt at a gotcha moment backfired yet again.
Can you give me an experience or your actual experience of driving innovation in an organization? Give me an example of where you have done that.
Oh my goodness, Senator, absolutely. At Concerned Veterans for America, we created the Fixing Veterans Healthcare Task Force, a bipartisan task force that never been done before to create policy, to drive policy change on Capitol Hill that organizations fought ferociously against. We got the VA Accountability Act passed and the Mission Act passed in a way that a nonprofit of our size, veterans organization, has never done. And that's testified in all the letters that we put forward to the committee, which are on the record.
I have limited time.
It's out here crying their little eyes out. They didn't like that. There was a bunch of mic drop moments. I like how what's-her-face got laughed out after that. Would you not be willing to make the same commitment? He's like, I'm not a general. Like, that's not my job. What are you talking about? And then they just laughed at her. Goodness, you know she cried in the car. Well, that is the last little bit of the news I have for you hooligans. We do got fun stuff coming up next. Like I was saying, this... Oh, you could join us for the fun stuff? Is that the deal? You good boy? Look at you, stunned. Called you out in front of everybody. I do that. I do things like that. You're not new here. Come on. Like I said, our first funny video of the day is titled A Game of Cat and Mouse. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the lefties losing their marbles. Hair juicer, I'm addicted to alcohol and that bitch was drunk. Hair juicer. Well, it takes one to know one. She's in denial. She's still in the liquor cabinet. That's how it works, right? When you come out as an alcoholic, you come out of the liquor cabinet. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Anyways. Breeze by you, the bitch from Hawaii is so stupid. Yeah, they were a bunch. It was just a parade of idiots in that video. Yo, that motherfucker back there is not real. That's what they were saying. Breeze by you. Those bitches questioning Hegseth sound like a bunch of insane harpies. Yeah, they were just repeating nonsense. They were, probably talking about Orange Man bad and all of that. And then that one woman, she's like, will you or won't you do this, that, and the other? And he was like, I don't know. I'm not going to discuss what President Trump might be doing. She's like, well, it sounds to me that you're for communism and you hate America. Like, well, you can assume whatever you want, bitch. That's what he should have said. Let her have it. You can assume whatever you want. Zero, expert on wind. Well, she is full of hot air. Yeah, it's true. Whoopi Goldberg, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about because she's going to purchase half those properties that got burned down. Zero, nope, I'm staying in the liquor cabinet. That's what I'm saying. Carrot treats, right? Meow. That's what he showed up for. MC Pocahontas is a complete idiot. I won't be surprised if President Trump starts posting those videos. He posts memes every once in a while. He actually reposted the bad lip syncing whatever when President Trump was sitting with Obama and they were laughing and being buddies or whatever. And we played one of the bad lip syncing videos where they're not accurately doing the lip syncing and whatnot, kind of doing voiceover work. And he's reposted a couple of them. So he's right there with us. I want to send him a hooligan shirt bad. We ain't never gonna see it because he's always wearing a suit, I mean. But definitely need to send him a hooligan t-shirt. She heard her, the Crypt Keeper. Enter user, here's a thought. Put the fire out before it's too big. Yeah, and she's saying, 1 million houses caught on fire all at once. Really? How did that happen? How'd that happen? I've never heard of that. 1 million houses? 900,000 houses all on fire at the same time. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wayward sent him a hat. Oh, yeah, he'd probably rock a hat. Well, I don't know. He's always got the MAGA hats. We'll have to figure something out. I want to see him sporting the hooligan gear. Got a full house, hair juicer. Wait a minute, you got an extra dog. How did that happen? When did you obtain that, hair juicer? Extra bill, happy freedom to you. Whoopi's real name is Karen, just saying. Yeah, isn't Whoopi Goldberg like her stage name or something like that? What's up, Red Wagon? Happy freedom. Cheeky Chaps, we need to start G-checking everyone. I haven't heard that in so long. I haven't heard that in like 15 years. We got to bring it back. What's up, Crab Nebula? Happy freedom to you. Crab Nebula, forcibly taking Greenland. Does anyone in Greenland oppose being annexed? I don't know. From what I have heard and seen, Greenland seems to be open to the idea. We were going to cover a video that I came across where their prime minister or whatever their leader is called over there was openly, like on public television, talking about being open to the ideas of becoming a part of the U.S. and having negotiations with President Trump and stuff like that, saying that there's no current plans or anything like that. But he would be open to negotiations. The problem is I couldn't find the video translated. So it was like 9 minutes of me having to read what he was saying at lightning speed because the captions were moving faster than Superman. And it didn't work out. And so I couldn't put it on the schedule. There was no way for me to make it work. You could not read the captions. They were so fast. And so I just figured, you know, someday in the future, they'll bring it back and they'll talk about it. I'll see if I can find a video where they actually translated it now that it's been a couple days. And if I can, I'll put it on to tomorrow's schedule. What's up, Ron? Happy freedom to you. Grab Iceland, too. Greenland is their property. Make them states. Yeah, you're a part of America, and you're now a part of America. Just handing them out. What's up, T. Lawton? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Rude? Happy freedom. I was muted. I wonder when I was muted. I wonder what you guys missed. Scott, is he trying to do sign language? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. New Scum, he doesn't know what he's doing. You could tell by the fires in California. J-Spray, this stuff starts sounding kind of iffy because it sounds like New World Order. Yeah, it does sound like we're trying to take over other countries and stuff like that, but I don't know. We don't take anything serious over here. We just laugh about everything. We'll see how it goes. Hair Juicer, Zena's having a sleepover. It's badass, Hair Juicer. Got a full house tonight. U-Hill, we got to do a segment on slug racing someday. Make a hooligan booze cruiser event out of it. I bet it would be fire. We'll see, U-Hill. I don't know anything about any of that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Trick Crazy, thank you for muting our sexy talk. No problem, Trick Crazy. I don't even know when I did it. I guess I did it right. Wayward, her real name is Mary. See, you guys, you're trying to walk me down the road. I can see what's going on here. Trying to get me to say stuff I ain't supposed to say. Naughty hooligans. Teasel, opposite. We're offering freedom from the Lizard Queen and family. So I'm saying, Teasel, we're not taking over those countries. We're asking them to join us. It's not the same. Time will tell, though. Either way, let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff here. Now, before we do, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to make donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's get into these fun videos really quick. Get this stuff pulled up. Hold on a second here. Hold your horses. This first one's titled A Game of Cat and Mouse. That's Cat Daniels there. If you ever saw a mouse, he'd probably just kiss it to death. He's like that with stink bugs too. He don't want to hurt him. He just wants to give him kisses right into the carpet. We're gonna get into that. Sounded something else. We'll go over that later. Let's get this pulled up really quick. This is our official funny video of the day. This is titled "Getting Bored in Michigan is Dangerous." That's terrible. You gotta check on your Michigan friends. They might be up to no good. You know, people around here, they just do drugs and drink in the winter and shit like that happens. So either way, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. Go ahead and drop this Linktree link in all of the chats. We're gonna read through, see what you hooligans think about today's coffee. And we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Appeal to heaven. Oh, that was super close. It was. It was. I'm sure they were fine. They're totally fine. They had all that snow to protect them, right? That's how we're. And they were probably drunk, so you know what they say. You can withstand the impact. Either way, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you would like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, Really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, which is to encourage open discussion. You'll have access to the arcade, which is full of games that are a ton of fun. And you will also have access to our advanced messaging system with the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership over on the website. Like I said, we're going to read through really quick, see what you hooligans think about today's coffee, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Russell, damn, he got smacked. He did. But see, the thing is they knew that was going to happen. We might not have been able to tell from our point of view. It's not like they didn't see that car coming. That's what I'm saying. You got to watch these people in Michigan. Zero. Holy crap, he needs new snow pants, I bet. Yeah, I bet. It sounded like he whacked the car kind of hard there. Hair juicer, she's an old lady, but she's still spry. Well, Moose and them gotta take her easy. Does she roll call too? She looks nice. A nice little dog. You gotta Google it. True crazy. I don't know what that word is. Thank you, Breeze by You, and happy freedom to you. Shroomish, no, don't leave us, Jeff. But like I said, we are going to be live again in a little less than 2 hours. About an hour and 45 minutes. Old man Chitchapants is going to get on stage and lie to us really quick and say all his goodbyes and sorries and all of that, you know. Tell us that he's done great by us and he's the best president ever and he's going to be sticking around, so we're not going to need to miss him because he'll be here, and you know, whatever else he's got to say to us, patting himself on the back and whatnot. 8 p.m. Eastern time is when he is expected on stage, and I figure we'll cover his farewell speech, so it's not done for the day yet. Rip Curl, he'll leave skid marks. The final sniff. Yeah, tree herder. Damn, I hope I remember that, because that's what I want to title the live that. Old Man Walter, the final sniff. Holy. MU, and how did you kill your buddy? Yeah, exactly. Running him down the street. Thanks, Sage Pup. I appreciate you being here. D-Cat, there ain't no drinking in northwestern Michigan, just a bunch of drunks. Yeah, D-Cat. I know. That's why you gotta be careful driving after dark. You might be able to see the lines on the road, but the guy driving towards you might not. David, brutal. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. I see a lot of you guys seem concerned about that last video there. I'm sure he's fine. David, Cheeky Chops been cracking me up on YouTube. Yeah. Cheeky Chops is hilarious. U-Hill, I'm present in class, but I'm not listening. You're learning all you need over here, U-Hill. Tell the professor that. Thank you, Viola. I appreciate you being with us. Smelly, the Empire sniffs again. We'll see what the title is. You hooligans are giving me some good ideas. Happy freedom to you, Smelly. Hooligans Island might be a redneck. Oh, you know it is. If he's going down the street like that, absolutely. They've already tried everything else. That's how they got to that point. Teasla, if that was you, it'd be a deer. You're not wrong. Sliding down the road, and all of a sudden, Bambi Al Qaeda comes out of nowhere. Damn, Bambi Al Qaeda. Mm-hmm. You hooligans crack me up. What the hell is that? Breeze by you. I don't know if I could show that on the live. A part of me feels like the algorithm won't know what it is and give me a strike. Here, Juicer, she does do roll call. That's so awesome. Holy. All right, hooligans. It's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. Let's get these beats rolling. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is about an hour and 40 minutes from right now, old man Walter is supposed to be on stage. He's supposed to be live. I assume he'll be late. I don't know how late he'll be, but I assume he will be. Either way, I'll be sitting here ready to go. And as soon as he steps on stage, we'll kick off the live and hear his last farewell to us. God only knows what he's going to say. He's going to be like, welcome to World War III. And then they're going to end the live. But I don't know. Either way, we're going to be covering it. But like I said, we're going to read through really quick before we wrap this up. Awesome, Alistair. Yeah, I'll think of the title and I'll send it to you. Hey, thank you, AR16. I appreciate you being here with us. Thank you, Enchanted Girl. Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you, Enter User. Happy freedom, Tony Rez. Non-woke. Biden won't remember any of this tomorrow. Yeah, that's for sure. The Last Sniff. I like that title. Hooligans Island, free Cheeky. You better not be locked up, Cheeky. We're going to have to make t-shirts. Free Cheeky Chops. You'd be walking through Malwart. You're going to say, what is that shirt? You're going to be like, I don't know, but it's provocative. Hey, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you being with us. Alistair, I'm the greatest president. I have the best movement in my drawers. Yeah, Alistair, that's what we're going to be hearing about an hour and a half. Thank you, Appeal to Heaven. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Appreciate you being with us. All right, hooligans. I think we're good to go. Snooks, free Cheeky. Yeah. See, Snooks is hot and free Cheeky. And we found Bobby, so we didn't have to put him on a milk carton. We are all good to go. So like I said a million times, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be live again. We're going to be covering old man Walter, saying his final farewells to us or whatever. And if I don't see you tonight, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Trying to think. I feel like there was something I was supposed to say to you guys. I think I got all my shout outs in. It was the beginning of the live that threw me off. Either way, I appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Go find something to eat. Be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your night. Come back and hang out with us as we cover old man Walter. And like I said, if I don't see you tonight, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.